Hey there, and that is Florence Wekesa's latest song, Kuna Nguvu. In fact, that is our guest this morning. And what you're focusing today when it comes to gospel music is again that creative process, because what I'm looking even at her social media is a lot of content that she began 2 years ago. Florence,
yes.
Yani muziki nimeangalia pale YouTube, jamani umejaza. It's like what you'd see for most artists that are, just coming up or have been in the game for like 2 to 3 years. Like you have a lot of songs and it's just been 2 years.
Yeah, it's the grace of God, and it's because I have a message to tell people. When you have a message, you don't just keep quiet and sit with it. Yeah, I have to share my message. It's about God. I'm just praising God, telling people good news about God, of which my inspiration comes from the Bible. Yeah,
we'll get deeper into that creative process, but just from what our viewers have watched, Kuna Nguvu, which is the latest song.
Yes.
How about we start from there? Let's talk about that song in particular. What inspired you to come with that song?
That song, okay, I have known God for like 10 years, and it is not that easy. Imagine you read the Bible and to try to follow everything that is in the Bible, and you meet people, you might maybe brush shoulders or be tempted. And so I've seen God working through the challenges that I face, and that's why I've come to realize that there is power in the word, of which it enables you to succeed or to be successful in your ways, in the challenges that you face. Ani unafaulu, unashinda, like it's like vita, tunasema vita, unashinda vita. Yeah, so it's like that. That's why I wrote that song, Kuna Nguvu katika neno.
Kuna nguvu katika neno.
Kuna nguvu.
So it's just like attributing to God's love and how powerful He is, how He's always present.
He's always present. He answers prayers. He helps you through many things, even things that you will not know. He helps you. So there is power.
The passion in which you say that. Now, let's go to your journey, which will try it with your creative process. 2 years ago is when you began gospel, but you've mentioned umekuwa ukimjia Yesu tangu 10 years back. So why did it take that long? Because I also want to assume that this is a path that you wanted to take.
It's because, okay, 10 years ago, I had just finished school like 2 years like that. And when you are a teenager,
choose not to calculate the age, by the way. So just keep forward.
Yeah, so it's because I got married at an early age.
Okay.
Yeah, so when I got married, I knew that some things I had to stop. And as you're growing up and you are meeting new things and you are growing, you're discovering things and deciding to follow the way of Christ, it is not that easy, because you may get tempted, and your friends, you also lack friends, imagine, because of the path that I chose. It's only because I knew I was married. So I decided to follow Christ, and within those like 8 years, I've seen God helping me through it until I'm now a musician when I'm still in marriage. That for me, it's God's grace. It's not that easy.
I will dissect just a bit away from music and come to that aspect that you mentioned. Yes, God born again 10 years ago, but you knew you wanted to do music. You knew this is what you wanted to do?
Not really.
Not really?
Yeah.
Okay, because I wanted just to find out from you that because you've mentioned that you had to stop some things a bit, and I got interested, like, is music part of what you felt like you wanted maybe to do it, even though it's not that early, but at least you had like some thoughts about it. But is it part of what you had to stop just because you were getting married or you got married?
Okay, I loved music. I loved music very much. And so when you're a teenager, like things like parties, you go to parties, meet friends, and those places, it's not like, they're not Christians, Yeah. So I had to stop the parties, going out with friends, because I knew that direction and marriage, they will collide.
So when you say stopping some things, this is actually what you mean?
Parties. I really liked parties and music. That was my thing.
For a minute, I almost thought that it was probably you wanted to do music and you had to pause on it a bit. Because you see, sometimes there's a lot of conversation surrounding that. People would say, I had to pause my career a bit, I had to pause my purpose a bit, I had to pause my passion a bit just to stay or be in the marriage, which is not a bad thing, because I mean, everyone to each their own and whatever best suits you as a person. But I think it's also just good to clarify, especially for young girls, because sometimes people feel like, do I have to just stop this altogether for this, or can I do both of them at the same time? Because for you are doing both of them at the same time.
Before is I liked music, but to compose a song, it was like difficult. I had that passion of music, at that time. So I thought those days, maybe I will be a dancer. That was what was in my mind, not really a musician because of the writing. So what was in my mind is being a dancer. But now I'm married, and you have kids, how will dance classes, where will you go, the dance classes, So that made me to pause and just to concentrate for the situation that I was those days.
On the babies and the marriage. All right. So now, do you write your songs, or someone writes for you? Because that was a challenge when you were beginning.
I write my songs. Because I read the Bible a lot. And when I read some verses, they inspire me. And I thought it could be best if I share with them. So I share in my music. I just write, napanga wimbo vizuri, and then ninaweka tune na record. That is something that I want to share with people.
So aside from reading the Bible and getting your inspiration from the Word of God, what else inspires you as Msanii?
What inspires me? About the stories that we hear from people who are born again. That inspires me, because it's a path that you are choosing, a way to follow that you are choosing. So you need to hear from those people who are there before you, or those people who have been that journey for long. That inspires me too.
When you talk about people that have been into that journey for long, because I mean, for every artist or every minister, whichever way you choose to describe yourself, different people would inspire them, whether it's been people who've been there for a long while or even a short while. So for you as a person, who are those people?
I'm inspired by, let me say, preachers, because when I was still at home, my mom used to watch the TV programs of the preachers on TV, and I used to see them, like Joel Osteen and Joyce Meyer. I used to see her when I was young, I don't know, class 5, I was so young. And imagine up to date, I'm still seeing them doing the same thing, and the ministry, it's growing very big. So that surprises me. If you are in this, if you are in wokovu, salvation. If you're in the salvation, and like me, it's now 10 years, I will also want to know about other people what they were doing, how they were sustaining it. So that I really follow these people, to hear the stories, and because I can remember how they used to be, and now I see that difference. So that inspires me, and it encourages me. Yes, and I know I can make it.
Speaking of salvation and choosing to stay consistent at it, choosing to start doing your own music, it's, if I can mention, it's unlike what you would see, especially for upcoming gospel artists. Why? Because someone would start making music just as you, maybe 2 to 3 years ago. Down the line, they deviate, go to secular, or just start doing some other things, or they mix it up together. And like I mentioned, to each their own, everyone has their own path. But for you, what makes you stay so consistent at it?
It's because I listen to gospel music a lot. That makes me to be consistent in this journey. Gospel music, and even the Word of God. In fact, that is what makes me, because the Bible, even when you open any page and you just read it, it will inspire you and to give you strength. So
and every time it's different kind of inspiration, though it's the same word.
Imagine. It's true. So that makes me to be at least consistent in in my walk of journey. Yes.
So maybe is this something you can tell for upcoming artists that they should stick to the word, listen to gospel artists? Listen to gospel music, rather gospel ministers or something of the sort.
I think stick to the word, because the word will give you direction, and it's the truth. It tells you the truth. It guides you, and music, you can sing anything, but it inspires you. It depends with the type of music, depending on how you feel. Sometimes music, I say, it's how you feel. Like sometimes you feel like dancing, you'll search for songs that you will dance. So me, I think it's the word. The word is the one that will keep you on the right track always. Yes.
We'll definitely come to your music in a bit, but I just feel like we need to probably unpack more of that particular perspective or aspect. Aside from just the word and listening to gospel ministers or gospel music, just the way you're describing, what else do you feel is the missing link? Because just the way I'm trying to say, it's like a normal phenomenon right now that, ni kama tu watu wanakuja kwa gospel kujulikana. After that, it's like someone had another interest underneath. So what else do you feel is the missing link that you would see most upcoming young artists do this thing for a while, then after a short while they are back to secular or back to doing some other things that probably they were doing before? What else do you feel is the missing link?
I think those people are just talented. There's some people who are talented in music, and when you're talented in music and you used to be a church goer, you will sing gospel because that is what you know. But down the line, you come to face reality, life.
This is not actually me.
You come to face reality. You meet a certain thing, and you come to realize, if you don't know the word, you're most likely to fall. Like, you'll do like what people do, and the word is something, when you follow the word, it is like a different path, and it's something different. That is according to me. Because imagine unaenda mahali unaambiwa usifanye kitu fulani, yani inakuonya usifanye kitu fulani, alafu nafika that time you are not supposed to do that thing. If you are not wise, you will do it, and that you are changing your path and your direction. So me, I think those people are just talented and they're using their talent to praise God. But when they face reality of life and they don't know the word, now unakuwa wewe because hiyo msingi hauna, so unakuwa wewe. So I don't blame them.
And see, Florence, it was so important for me to ask, because unapata mara mingi we castigate such people. We say, huyu ameimba gospel, miaka 5 tena ameenda kwa secular, not knowing just the way you're describing. Maybe this person was brought up as a Christian, so the only place they knew was church and singing in church. Then they start singing, they meet the outside world, and then they realize, by the way, wait a minute, gospel is not my thing.
That's it.
So we become so harsh on them. Na kumbe hatuwajui vizuri. So it's good to clarify such kind of things. So let's go back to your music. Wewe Mkuu, your first song.
Yes.
Tell us a bit about that.
Wewe Mkuu, it's a song I did 2 years ago. I was in college. I was taking a part-time course. So I met my friends there, and they were artists. And they used to tell me, what do you like doing? Kujuana. So me, I say, I have a passion in music, but I don't know how to start. So they tell me, it's not hard, just write anything that you can do and say, just write something. So I wrote it, and I was thinking now, what will I write? I was just thinking about it. So I decided to write about my journey, since I knew God, my journey, how I saw it, and that's what I write. It's inasema, yani, kwako Bwana kuna ushindi, kuna amani, kuna baraka. It's like that. Kwako Bwana kuna ushindi, kuna amani, kuna baraka. I'm just praising God. So
you're just describing your journey as a person, how you found yourself into salvation, and just what encompasses you as a person. Let's talk about the videos, and I'm so sure viewers will get to watch one of your songs again just as we are about to go on a break. Because I was even telling you before we came on air that it's unlike what you'd see for most artists. Because when you go to their before songs, 5 years ago songs, and there are now songs, then you can clearly tell the difference. And yewe huyu mtu akianza, you can clearly see Mungu amemtoa mahali.
Imetoa mbali.
But for you, I'm just singing, I'm like, I can't even see the difference between your 2018 song and your now song, you know? So let's talk about the video quality of creating content, because sometimes people will feel like, wasikia tu message, wachana hizi vitu zingine zote. But what is the importance of having quality kind of video? You're shooting it to perfection.
Okay, it's because, you know, when you're doing gospel music, you are doing it because of the people who don't know Christ. So you're not singing for those people who already know Christ. They'll be taught by pastors. Kuna mapasta pale.
How can you assume that?
Kuna mapasta pale. So I decided to make a video that hata mtu mwenye aji God ako interested naye. Ani hiyo ndio kitu yenye nataka kabisa. Mtu mwenye aji God akiona ataangalia hivi, wacha niangalie, na kumbe kuna message hapo. Ndio hivyo sasa. So that's why I did that music that way, and I met that director. His name is Clinton, as in Clinton Mutati. Yeah, he's the one who make that shot, and that's why it's as good as it is.
As good as it is. Less like one of our presenters usually says, when boy my roots start showing. So let me just compose myself. Lest as it is, the way you're saying. As it is. All right. Let's come to message. As a gospel minister, artist, there's always that aspect and perspective of just, I was trying to mention earlier on, even as you talked about your videos, that some would say, I might not make that quality because it's all about the message. Others would have the direction of, it's not all for the money, it's all for message. Others will say they both go together. I mean, because at the end of the day, I'm not eating the song per se, it's the earnings from the song what I'm eating. Which school of thought do you come from? Is it just the message, you know, whether I get the money or not? For me, it's just message out there, or it's both?
They all go both together, because we need to, you know, when you sell out good, you will make more music and good video production, because everybody likes good works. So both video must be good, the message good,
then money comes. I like your honesty. As in, it's not just a message out there, but you know, we have to get returns for what you're doing.
Tuendelee na muziki, tufanye kitu safi.
And you must see the cash coming in.
Kuje tu.
All right, thank you so much, Florence Wekesa, for your time, and also just talking to us about your journey and what you're doing as a person.
Thank you.
So it is that time for that music break, and I leave you with Florence Wekesa's latest song. Take a look.